This, again, like some of the other cases that I've handled, was a tragic case with severe brain injury as a result of a football high school injury. And the setting of this was, it was a high school kid, well liked by everybody, really good football player. And what happened was, the type of helmet that they use is the type where you pump air into it to provide cushion for you. And they went to another high school. It was a game away from home, and what happened was, throughout the game, he kept getting hit and hit and hit, and he kept telling his coaches and everybody else, "Look, I'm getting hit around. My helmet doesn't have any air in it. I need air." And the coach is like, "Okay, fine, go back in, continue playing. We'll get somebody to find air for you." And so throughout the whole process, he's going there. So it's basically as though he has no helmet at all, if you think about it. And he's tackling people. People are tackling him, hitting him hard. On one particular instance, he got hit really hard, and he kind of got his air knocked out of him. And then that's when the coaches are like, "Okay, fine. You can go ahead and come out and sit down." But in a brain injury type incident, you can have multiple small hits, and each one of these hits will count as sufficient amount of force to cause a massive brain injury, because you're consistently getting hit. And by way of analogy, it's like the shaking baby syndrome. You get a baby and you keep shaking them. It's almost the same kind of similar concept with a football player. You just keep getting hit and hit and hit and hit, and there's no rest time, and he's running, he's doing all this activity. And finally what happened was, they take him out. They're like, "Okay, fine, you can sit it out." Even though he had asked, "Look, I can't do this. It's hard for me." And they sit him out. And what happened was, when he was sit out, they just basically didn't get any medical attention, didn't get anything. And he was saying, "I feel dizzy. I don't feel good." And the coaches didn't really take it seriously, and they had him sit down. And instead of having a medical personnel come and check him out and make sure he's okay, they just assigned two cheerleaders to him and say, "Hey, just keep an eye on him, make sure he's okay." And they put a towel over him, and so he's sitting down. And unfortunately, what happened was, he loses consciousness, and he slumps down in this manner, and all the airway to his brain stops as well too, until he finally just, his weight and not being able to hold himself up as a result, just collapses down. And then that's when everybody's like, "Oh my God, what's going on here? What happened? What's wrong with him?" And by that time, unfortunately, he had sustained such severe brain injury as a lack of oxygen to his brain, that it was permanent, and there was not much that they could do to reverse the process. And our contention was that a school district has a duty and responsibility, per the California regulations and laws that govern these schools, to ensure the safety of their students, and that they're not supposed to increase the risk of harm to any of their students as a result of engaging in any activities outside of school or within school. And that's how we were able to establish that they were negligent in the care and safety of this student on their school.